To find the circumcenter of a triangle, you're going to need to find the equations of two of the right bisectors of the sides. You have three choices. You can do AB, AC, or BC. You only need to pick two of those pairs and get the equations of two right bisectors. Those are probably going to be in y equals mx plus b form, so you just need to use substitution to solve that system of the two lines, or the two right bisectors. This will take a little bit, but I will walk you through it. First, pick two of the right bisectors to do. I'm going to choose to do the right bisector of AB and the right bisector of AC. Cool? Now, to do a right bisector, you need the slope of those 2 points, the slope between A, B here for me. Let's do it. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. That gives me 16 over negative 6, which reduces to negative 8/3. That's the slope of AB, and because it's a right bisector, we need to convert that to its negative reciprocal slope. Whoa, that's wrong. You have to flip the fraction, which gives me 3/8, and flip the sign from, in this case, negative to positive. So the slope that I care about, the slope of my right bisector, is 3/8. I need to know what point it goes through. The bisector part is what tells me I need the midpoint of A and B as well. To get that, I average my x's and my y's. The average of my x's is 4 plus 10 over 2, and 10 plus negative 6 over 2. All right, let's see. That gives me 7, 2. That's the point that the right bisector goes through. And to get the equation of it, I need to use y equals mx plus b with that slope and these points. Y equals mx plus b, where my y is 2, my m is 3/8, and my x is 7. This is not going to be nice numbers, but hey, that's the way it goes. 2 equals, when I multiply these, I get 21/8 plus b. So b is 2 minus 21/8, which on my calculator, when I do it, I get negative 5/8. That's my y-intercept. So the equation of the right bisector is y equals 3/8, because that's the negative reciprocal slope that I found, x. And the b that I found with y equals mx plus b is minus 5/8. All right, not bad. That's one equation. I'm halfway there. Like halfway through step 1. I need the right bisector of AC as well. So, let's get it. I choose pink. I need the slope of AC because I'm going to take its negative reciprocal. The slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. I get 8 over 10, which is regular 4/5, and I take its negative reciprocal to negative 5/4. Notice how I flipped the fraction and flipped the sign, dropped the marker, because that's what it means to take the negative reciprocal. I need the midpoint of AC. I just have to average my x's. That's 4 plus negative 6 all over 2, and 10 plus 2 over 2. I get negative 1, 6. Use your calculator if you don't know how I got those numbers. And then finally, I'm going to use y equals mx plus b with my x and y and m. I already wrote the equation there, so I'm just going to do y equals mx plus b. 6 equals, when I multiply those, I get positive 5/4. 6 minus 5/4 is my b value, and I get, I guess it's 19/4 when I do that on my calculator. Oh Lord, all of that just to get the y-intercept. Y equals negative 5/4x plus 19 over 4. See, I used that slope and I used the y-intercept that I found. All right, step 1 is over. I have 2 equations for 2 of the right bisectors here. Step 2 is to solve that with substitution or elimination. Because we took the trouble to do y equals mx plus b, this part's easy. Because they're both y equals something, we just have to set them equal to each other. 3/8 x minus 5/8 equals, and then I use the other equation, 5/4 x plus 19/4. Solve this linear equation. It looks ugly, and there's a bunch of ways you can solve it. I'm just going to do it the old school way. Collect x's on one side, 3/8 x plus 5/4 of x equals, and numbers on the other. I still have 19/4 here, and I'm going to add 5/8. Now I'm not so good at fractions, so I'm going to cheat with my calculator here. I can do 3/8 plus 5/4. It tells me that that's 13/8 when I add them together. That's 13/8 of x. And over here on the right side, I have 19/4 plus 5/8. Calculator says 43/8. Now to get the x, I just divide out 13/8 on both sides. You might see that the over 8s cancel with each other. And my answer here ends up being 43 over 13. Wow, that is uglier than I ever imagined. And that's only half the answer because I need the y coordinate as well. So you pick one of the original equations, and you plug that x in to get the y. 3/8 of x, which is 43/13, minus 5/8 according to the original equation, right? That calls for a calculator. You can do this with your own fraction stuff. If you can't, I recommend you get better at it. But I'm on a time crunch because I'm in a YouTube video. 3/8 times 43/13 minus 5/8 gives me 8/13. Wow, that's a nice round number. I like it. I like it. So the coordinates of the circumcenter here are x, 43/13, comma, y, which is 8/13. And that's them. Great. That circumcenter is where the right bisectors meet. And it also happens to be a point that is equidistant from all 3 points of the triangle. I didn't graph these points ahead of time, but I will do that now just to demonstrate how right we are. A is at 4, comma 10. B is at 10, comma negative 6. C is at negative 6, comma 2. Bang. And we claim that the circumcenter is at 43/13, which is what? 3.3, comma 8/13, 8/13, which is 0.6. 3.3, comma 0.6, something like that. Does it look to you like that point is equidistant from A and C and B? It kind of looks like it to me. All 3 of those dotted lines that I just drew seem like they're the same length. Great. It also happens to be the center of a circle if you could draw a circle that includes A, B, and C on its perimeter. Those are all fun facts about the circumcenter, but what matters to me is that you can find it. Find equations for 2 right bisectors like we did. Bang, bang. Then set them equal to each other to solve for x, then y. Piece of cake, only takes 10 minutes. Best of luck to you.